Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar today. My name is Jason Lehman, and in today's discussion, we will be looking at and taking you through how you can realize a six-figure customer service cost saving using digital assistants and chatbots. Here's our agenda for today's discussion. I'll be introducing my colleague Jake in just a second here. So then we'll move on to a little bit about who Fishbowl is, what we do, why we're different, especially focusing on the digital assistant technology, and then really looking at, as we considered the discussion today and why we chose this topic, what are really some of those customer service business problems that organizations like yours are having? And then how can a digital assistant or chatbot help solve some of those business problems for you? We'll then get to hopefully one of the things that you saw in the invite is what is some ROI potential with this technology. We'll take you through that case study that we have with the customer that we're working with. My colleague Jake will take you through a couple different demos, and then I'll walk you through what it takes to actually roll out a digital assistant, having the right platform, the right people, and the right process to successfully launch a digital assistant for customer service. And then at the end, we'll take questions. So real quick on the housekeeping side, you can ask questions right through the Zoom interface. Please go ahead and do so. Type them right into the chat window of the Zoom interface. We'll see that questions are being asked, and we'll be able to answer them at the end. This webinar is also being recorded, so everyone that registered will be sent a link within a couple days here. So as I mentioned, I'm joined by my colleague Jake. I'll turn it over to Jake now, and Jake, you can introduce yourself.
All right, Jason, thank you so much for the introduction. My name is Jake Roland. I'm the West Coast account manager for the digital assistant team here at Fishbowl Solutions. I'll be talking through a few of the slides as well as showing two digital assistant demonstrations. I'm sure some of you are already familiar with Fishbowl Solutions. However, for those of you who are new, I'd like to just give a brief introduction. Fishbowl's primary focus is to help customers solve their most costly and frustrating knowledge sharing problems. Since 1999, we've been working with Oracle Web Center, specializing in enterprise content management and portal solutions, helping organizations better manage, retain, and distribute content through enhanced desktop and mobile experiences. We also help organizations leverage Oracle's Content and Experience Cloud, focusing on developing omni-channel experiences for their digital content. Most recently, we've been developing mobile applications and creating digital assistants for customer service and sales enablement using Oracle's autonomous mobile cloud enterprise platform. And to help you find all the high-value content within your organization, we provide enterprise search software and services for both on-premise and cloud-based use cases leveraging Mindbreeze and Google Cloud. So I wanted to talk about this slide here. This was put together through Gartner Analytics. It highlights the top 10 strategic technology trends of the last year. There's been a lot written about our topic for today, digital assistants. Analysts have been following it for a few years, and digital assistants, are commonly known as chatbots, are real things today, and they will only get better as they utilize machine learning further. So if you haven't already heard about them today in your organization, you most likely will hear about them soon. So as we move to customer service business problems, the main question is why digital assistants, right? First, customer service is expensive. Research from contact center software provider Aspect Software estimates that the average cost of a customer service phone interaction is between $10 and $35 per interaction. Second, customers don't like having to deal with customer service. Most of us, when we think about customer service, we think about making a call to a customer service hotline or a support center, standing in line at a retail store. And let's face it, none of us want to wait to get our questions answered. This waiting, it adds to a poor experience overall, and I'm sure many of us can remember a poor customer experience we've had. And third, if you factor in the poor customer service, it can lead to lost customers, and lost customers lead to lost revenue, right? 82% of customers leave a company due to poor customer experience, but it isn't just about them leaving. It's the fact that they're going to go tell someone about that experience. And on average, an unhappy customer may tell up to 16 people. So a bad customer experience just compounds, and companies annually lose millions of dollars because of it. So it's extremely important to rapidly engage with customers who contact your company via online channels. It's a huge opportunity for you to offer a differentiation to your customers. So how are digital assistants improving customer service? In the healthcare and banking sectors, the Juniper research study found that interaction costs can also be significantly lowered by an estimated 70 cents per interaction by 2022, just by chatbot automation. Studies show that it's realistic to aim deflection between 40 to 80% of common customer service inquiries to chatbots. And with the simple example that you just saw on the screen here, resetting a password, you get customers quick answers to simple questions so they can go on their way and engage with your company even further. And by doing this, you enhance overall customer experience with your brand. A digital assistant can do this by providing first-line customer support 24/7 by 365. So no more having the customers wait to call in during support times or getting someone to respond on a live chat. No lines or queues. And because digital assistants integrate with back-end business systems, they can add more context to the conversations, making those conversations more personalized and impactful. So, but again, getting customers to answer the answers they need fast, such as when to track an order. But to really retain and increase revenue from your customers, the customer service you provide them needs to be consistent across all channels. The average of a 9-hour wait time for response on a company's Facebook page isn't really consistent with a 5-minute wait time when calling into the customer support department. Organizations that are able to offer these consistent experiences are going to thrive and grow as they use digital assistants to even market products to customers during conversations. Something as simple as offering a coupon can go a long way for brand loyalty. So I'd like to transition to one of our recent customer successes. We recently worked with a global office supply retailer. They were experiencing high customer service costs as well as a high amount of live agent interactions. Their goal was centered around deflecting these interactions. Customers were already seeing the benefits of digital assistants. This example kind of profiles the retail customer that wanted to reduce their overall customer service costs through some analytics and feedback from support staff. They were seeing a lot of simpler common questions being answered by live agents. So they thought a digital assistant could help. Since they were an Oracle Service Cloud shop already, they decided to go with Oracle's digital assistant along with some complementary technologies. To factor their ROI, they took a look at their current costs for live agents to handle questions and how many of those could be deflected based on what type of question was being asked. For example, simple FAQ questions. From there, they quickly surmised that they could deflect around 30% of those interactions through the digital assistants, reducing their overall live agent costs, leading to roughly $250,000 in savings a year. So from here, I'd like to show you 2 demos. The first will be a simple password reset, and the second will be a live agent handoff using Oracle Service Cloud. The second is going to highlight the interaction when the conversation can become a bit more complex. So here's the password reset environment. So I entered help into the digital assistant. It's populating 3 different options, help with login, registration, or password reset. I'm going to hit the password reset, and it's going to ask for my email. From there, it's going to ask for a security verification. I'm going to click none of the above. And then from here, it's going to ask to send me a verification code via text message or via mail. So I chose the text message option, and it texted me the 6-digit code, which I'll enter in here. From there, it'll prompt an incident application built into the digital assistant. And I'll type in a new password. We'll submit that. And from here, it'll say your password has been reset successfully. So you can see a very seamless, easy transition to get a password reset through the digital assistant. Okay, now I'd like to transition to our live agent handoff demonstration. This is going to be an example of where we maintain high priority customer service. So I have pulled up here, it's the Facebook channel. It's a Fishbowl retail demo is what we've called it. But this is to illustrate a retail demonstration bot through the Facebook channel. So I've typed in, I need to make a return. It's going to kick back the return policy. I'm going to ask for additional help as this wasn't the answer I was looking for. It's kicked back an automated response asking if that response was helpful. I'm going to hit no. This will prompt the live agent handoff. Over here, you can see the integration with Service Cloud, and the live agent can accept this conversation. It'll connect to the Facebook channel and introduce the live agent. Hello, my name is Connect API. How may I help? The customer can then ask, I need assistance. And you can see the communication between the live agent and the channel. So this just illustrates how seamless it is for the live agent. It's pretty quick and simple. That concludes the 2 demonstrations that I had. So I appreciate you guys listening in, and I hope that was helpful. I'll kick it back to you, Jason.
All right, thanks, Jake. So hopefully we've gotten you excited so far in talking about how digital assistants can help with customer service and just their possibilities overall. I think it's also important, though, that we do caution you as we consider building a digital assistant. You know, they're not all built the same, and not all digital assistant platforms are the same. So it's just really, I think, to drive the point home that these things are difficult to build. And one of the reasons why is language is difficult. So if you consider that we all use colloquialisms or slang like go nuts or wanna instead of want to, it'll be hard for most digital assistants to interpret these. Also, integrations are difficult. So if you consider that to really make a digital assistant powerful, you have to pull in relevant data from back-end systems. This really helps bring more context to the conversation to really help customers make decisions. You also have to consider security and how the digital assistant will handle that. And the user experience is also very key. So if your chatbot or digital assistant doesn't utilize your company's branding and styles, it might be viewed as a wholly separate channel for customer service, and it might not get used. And then over time, really, the digital assistant is going to need some care and feeding to really optimize it. So if you consider tuning it, you know, and leveraging really what the platform has to offer, taking a look at analytics to really make that conversation with your customers the best it possibly can be. So just an example of that on why, again, language is difficult. This cartoon, I think, illustrates the point very well. It's one of those where, you know, context is everything, and words have different meanings. So I'm a huge metal fan. Depending on the context, it could be, yeah, you're a stand upright fan, or you're an actual really big fan of metal music and rock and roll. Here's another example. What state do you live in? Well, the user in this case maybe somewhat mischievously said constant anxiety. So again, that just illustrates the point on why language is difficult, and having context within the conversation is everything. So As you consider building a digital assistant, what I'm going to walk you through here in the next 5 or 10 minutes is really why it takes a platform, the right people, and the right process to successfully launch a digital assistant for your use case. As we talked about at the beginning, why hopefully we're all here is to learn more about how digital assistants can be used in customer service. There's really multiple use cases, and Fishbowl's been working with the Oracle Digital Assistant platform for over 2 years now, really helping customers solve their customer service issues, as well as employee self-service, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. We've been, like I said, we've been leveraging this platform for about 2 years now. And one of the reasons why, being an Oracle partner, we really saw as it was compared to other platforms out there, is really its comprehensive capabilities. It really allows you to quickly build digital assistants that let your customers engage in more natural conversations with your business. It's deployable on websites, mobile apps, messaging apps, as well as digital voice assistants. Really extending some of that back-end functionality that you're looking for and getting that back-end business data surfaced to your users or your customers. And then personalizing that for them to really increase the level of engagement that they would have. So the Oracle Digital Assistant, it's an integrated feature of the Oracle Autonomous Mobile Cloud Enterprise solution from Oracle. It really helps you build the chatbots with that natural conversation user interface through text or speech with your enterprise systems. It uses artificial intelligence and natural language processing powered by neural networks and machine learning to really detect what the user is trying to achieve, what their intent is, and then respond appropriately with the information results or transactions from those API connections to your backend systems and enterprise applications to get that data to the user. So the platform really makes it simple and easy to build and train digital assistant without the need for those specialist AI skills. Your digital assistant or your chatbot can be exposed through, as I mentioned, chat and voice channels and a custom mobile app, and even on your website. The other thing that we noticed right away with Oracle, as I mentioned, when it's compared against other platforms, is it was already a leader in this space. So it's been recognized by analyst firms Ovum, Forrester, and Gartner for their mobile app, as a mobile app and a digital assistant platform. Really taking a look at how easy it is to use, but how affordable it is, with low-code options available to develop and integrate digital assistants within your business. And then another powerful capability of the platform is its integrations. The solution includes a custom component builder that allows you to develop and create modules that can be invoked during the dialog flow to really fetch information or perform transactions through specific Oracle APIs or other third-party backend systems. And one thing to note here, right now today, so for your Oracle Service Cloud customers that are on the call, it's the only platform that has an integration with Oracle Service Cloud today for that live agent handoff. So I talked about the platform. You also need the right team. You also need the team to really help you get this digital assistant launched and launched successfully. So Fishbowl's built a team over this past 2 years to really include the key people necessary to build a digital assistant. So right from the top, we'll have a technical project manager assigned to your digital assistant implementation. But one of the key people within the team is a conversational designer. They're the person that's going to, or people that are going to really know and have a little nuance into, the dialogue flow of a conversation, but really using the data that's in your organizations to build that out. So that can come from FAQs that are being asked or knowledge articles, basically any of your channels that today service your customers. We'll also have a technology lead really assigned to the integration piece. So the Oracle Digital Assistant platform does expose some of those APIs for Oracle systems as well as third-party systems. And our technical lead on the integration will really work to make sure that integration is pulling the right business data from those back-end systems and surfacing it into the conversation as expected. But another key component is really that user experience lead. So really designing the digital assistant to be an integrated part of your customer service channel. So as I mentioned, if it's not designed correctly and it doesn't fit within your branding and style guidelines, it might go unused because it doesn't seem like it's part of that customer service process. But also taking a look at the tone of the digital assistant. So kind of incorporating your company's, your branding and messaging and overall voice that you have as a company, and incorporating that within the user experience as well. And then we'll also have a business use case subject matter expert assigned to your project as well. This is a person that just over the 2 years we've been working with customers, we've learned a lot about the various use cases and within vertical industries, retail, entertainment, manufacturing, that really understands some of those processes that a digital assistant can help with when it comes to customer service and other use cases. So having the platform is key, the right team of people is key, but a process is also key. So what I wanted to summarize here is Fishbowl's end-to-end process for digital assistant deployments. So that really starts with planning, it moves to solution development and building your digital assistant, testing using analytics, and then deploying it. But what I really wanted to point out is most of the customers we've worked with and have been working with start off with kind of a phase 1 digital assistant or chatbot, maybe call it an FAQ bot. And then they move forward with more integrations or more intense, make it a little bit more sophisticated to have pull some of that back-end business data, make it a little bit more conversational to be able to handle more of the requests that are coming from your customers. So the key to this slide is to really understand that that's an ongoing process. So even once your chatbot is built and deployed, the work really doesn't stop. You're going to have the capabilities within the platform to really analyze how it's being used, what questions are being asked, when and how, and to really tune it. So to summarize that a little bit more, I wanted to take you through some of the things that are actually included within each one of those phases of the digital assistant deployment. And so with the planning phase, it's really around understanding your use case, really vetting that out with you. As I mentioned, looking at your current frequently asked questions or FAQs, what channels you want to expose it through. So could be on your website, could be through social media, could be deployed to a mobile device, as well as those system integrations. So what back-end business data do you need pulled forward into the conversation? We'll also, a fun part of this would also be setting up a workshop to really map out the personas and the user journeys of the people that, or the customers, their type the type of people that will be using the digital assistant, and really map out what they could be asking and when they would be asking it. And then really developing that flow. So taking you through the flow of the questions being asked, the intents, and how the digital assistant should respond. And then you move on to a build phase. So with that, depending on the system integrations that were decided, we look to hook into those if that's applicable for your use case, and then really building the user experience. So again, incorporating your branding and styles into the overall look and feel, as well as the overall theme and tone of the digital assistant. Testing is really going to be key throughout this process, and the Oracle Digital System platform includes some analytics, so you can really take a look at how it's being used. We can help you put together a report card of how it's performing, really validating any of those questions that are being asked. And then it's on to deploy. So as I mentioned, it's not so much getting it built and it's done. It's more about once you actually get it deployed, it's tuning it, adding enhancements and new capabilities. As Oracle develops more capabilities with their platform, we'll work with you to get those new enhancements incorporated into your digital assistant. I did want to highlight that planning phase. I think this is where Fishbowl really has a differentiator in the industry, specifically working with the Oracle Digital System platform. With our successes that we've had so far, we've really focused in this area, really on the use case vetting, the user experience design, and some of that back-end integration that we have already built out for customers. A few examples of what each one of those phases might look like. So from a conversational flow design perspective, this is where on the planning side, we're going to take the graphic on the left there, that mapping out of that decision tree for what questions are being asked and how the digital assistant to respond into an actual interface. And then also helping you understand and working through with you how exceptions should be handled. What are some of those unhappy paths where, for example, someone asks a different question and or changes the line of questions that they were going down. As I mentioned, integrations are key. So I just wanted to highlight a few of the integrations that we've already done, but not only the back-end business systems that we can pull data from, but also the channels. So if you consider the channels that you want to have your digital assistant exposed on, it could be collaboration systems like Slack or social media systems like Facebook. So with this webinar, we really wanted to focus on digital assistants for customer service. I wanted to just make mention that, for some of the attendees today, employee service, a digital assistant for employees, an employee virtual assistant, whatever you want to call it, might make more sense for you today. Just know that we've worked with customers on that use case as well. But either way, the key with each one of those use cases have been the integration. So knowing that there's some data that wants to be surfaced into the conversation to provide more context to help employees make decisions, that's really been key. So for both of the ones that we've worked with on the retail side, the integrations with Service Cloud and ServiceNow. But then on the employee side, it's really pulling more of that employee information from systems like PeopleSoft and Kronos into the conversation to really help, again, employees make decisions and make decisions on the go, make decisions using their mobile device, of being able to ask employee-related questions with the digital assistant. Another key of this process is really the UX. As I mentioned, we do include a user interface that can be plugged into any browser. So with that, we'll help you incorporate your branding and style. But then there's some other additional features that we offer, so including image carousel, so having pictures that can pop up based on questions that are being asked, mobile support, desktop application support, and voice-to-text support. Here's just an example of what that UX would look like. This is an example of a customer that we've already built out. Includes some form data, some drop-downs, and then a move right over to the chat conversation based on what selection has been made. I mentioned the report card, so this one is also key. So understanding how it's performing is going to be paramount, starting right with the testing as we get builds out there for testing the digital assistant, all the way to deploying it and even afterwards. So things like, where the digital assistant is placed on your website, for example, and are people able to find it from there, the overall look and feel, what questions again are being asked, when they're being asked, and in context of why they're being asked. So this scorecard can all be put together for your use case to really help you, summarize basically how your digital assistant is performing over time. And I mentioned the analytics that are built in. So using really the analytics that are built in the platform to help you understand how it's performing. And what I want to highlight here is we say that anytime a digital assistant wants to respond to a question, it's taking a swing at it. So kind of using the baseball analogy, it's only going to take a swing if it should only take a swing if it feels like it can hit a home run. So that means if it really feels like it could answer the question. Otherwise, depending on your flow, you could hand off to a live agent. So, but really understanding, when it decides to take that swing and then what the result was after it tried to answer that question. And then we're into deploy. But as I mentioned, it's really about getting it to a phase one or to a point where you can utilize it on your website as part of your customer service process or employee self-service process, and then making it even better from there. So using some of those analytics that are built in, tuning it accordingly, adding enhancements as new enhancements are added from the Oracle Digital Assistant platform, and then taking you from that phase one that I showed of an FAQ bot, maybe into a phase 2 or phase 3 digital assistant. So as we wrap up here, there's really 3 ways that Fishbowl likes to engage with customers. And basically, kind of just going back to our process is really understanding your use case. So we can do an integrated branded demo where maybe if you want to share some of our FAQ data with us, we can incorporate that into that integrated branded demo. We can also do a mini conversational design workshop where we put together a little workshop for you, go over your use cases, your personas, and your journeys, and really build that digital assistant flow for you so you can understand how that would work. And then we can move, and we can do this right away more if you're kind of vetted your use case, you understand what you want to do. We can do a paid scoping to integrate with your backend business systems and really use that full process that we talked about to get your digital assistant deployed. So if anyone did have any questions, I did want to encourage that questions be you can add them right in the Zoom interface. So there is one question here about how long does the initial setup process typically take, starting from the plan phase. It's really going to depend on your use case, and Lana, we can follow up with more with you after this webinar. But really going to depend on that use case and what you're looking to achieve, a business problem that you're looking to solve. But, you know, the plan process is pretty involved because we really want to take you through and vet out the use case, help you understand what the dialogue flow would be and the conversational flow would be, as well as the people that would be using the digital assistant. Question that we always get is how much does the digital assistant platform cost? That's really based on interactions. And then Fishbowl services and some of our IP from the user interface perspective would be added onto that as well. Well, I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to wrap up the webinar. There's a lot more information available on our website if you're looking for digital assistant videos and a little bit more about how the digital assistant platform and how we integrate with that and some of our success stories. You can find that on our website, so I definitely encourage you to check us out there. But I do want to thank everyone again for attending, and we'll be in touch down the road. Thanks, everyone.